Good evening. Some of you may remember the Metal Museum from last year's presentations when we spoke to you about the Soulsville Metals Collaborative, the very first year of this program, which teaches basic metalsmithing and business skills to high school students in the 38106 and 38126 zip codes. We're pleased to be here tonight to share with you student successes from the past year, as well as to share We are pleased to be here tonight to share with you student successes from this year of the collaborative, as well as the 6-week summer program CU, which is the periodic symbol for copper in summer, which combined make up the Metal Museum Youth Initiative. With Knowledge Quest, we continue to work in these zip codes where children are at risk for school dropout, substance abuse, teen pregnancy, youth violence, and where 40% of the population lives at or below the poverty line. But the most important thing to us, the Metal Museum, is that these students are our neighbors, and we need to invest in our neighbors. This year, we started out by serving 15 students through the Soulsville Metals Collaborative, about half of which were returning for a second year. The rest of the seats were filled by the recruiting efforts of those returning students. At this point, we have about 7 students who are really invested and make it to every single session. Now, I'm going to switch from stats about our program to the stories because I really want to share with you the triumphs of a few key students whose participation in the initiative has really impacted their lives and has started to lay the foundation for their future, whether they realize it or not yet. LaQuisha is one student who has seen tremendous growth this year. She's a second-year student who spent most of her time last year and a good part of this year socializing through the program. But about halfway through the year, she had what I call a light bulb moment. She came in one day and she had her sheet of paper with her designs drawn out, labeled with which color enamel she was going to use, and the order in which she was going to make these pieces. Since she has this plan laid out, she has actually followed it, and she now spends her time really creating rather than socializing. Along with this new creative drive is an attitude towards being able to try new things and the mindset towards persevering through designs that may start to look a little different than what she had in mind. Next is Obadiah. Obadiah has been with the initiative since the very, very beginning and has really blossomed as an artist this year. We're attributing that artistic growth to the bond he's created with our program volunteer, Kathy, who's an enamelist herself. As a result of this bond, Obadiah's work has not only gotten better, but he started talking to us about a career in the arts. He wants to work at the museum, he wants to go to school for the arts, and he really wants to make a career out of being a metalsmith. And finally, while we hate to see students leave the program, we have to celebrate Jarvis and Markila for landing part-time jobs. We see this as a huge success as part of the initiative is to teach the students soft skills such as good communication and hard work ethic. And then before I finish up tonight, I do want to invite everybody to our Soulsville Metals Collaborative student showcase this Thursday at the Greenleaf Learning Farm so you guys can see very firsthand what these students are accomplishing through this program and to have them sell you some work. Thank you.